Greetings, fellow Gothamites. Tiki here.
And Blue Dragon 5. Over 10 years ago, as the Dark Knight changed things forever, we lost the actor who made it happen. Heath Ledger delivered the ultimate performance that left us eternally wanting more. While we all thought we saw the last of his betrayal as the Clown Prince of Crime, two men unearthed amazing footage of what he might have done next.
The job falls to us to comb through the files and documented exploits of Patient 4479 in this ultimate tribute to the role of a lifetime. Let's start today's tribute with the Season 1 finale, Home Sweet Home. All right, so yeah, Dragon, this is a very interesting episode because it's more or less just kind of like a nice little epilogue to the Night of Chaos. That was kind of like the big focal point of the first season. Speaking of which, there's a reason why we timed this episode out to come out on this date. Would you like to elaborate on that?
Well, folks, the answer is quite simple. As you notice by the way we refer to the Joker throughout this entire series, he's never referred to as the Joker. He is instead referred to as 4479 because that is his identification number. More importantly, as a loving tribute to the reason they have a show, Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger's birthday is April 4th, 1979, which again is always kind of the imperative. And what they usually like to do when they were airing these is they'd have an April Fool's Day video followed by, of course, an episode being posted on, or a tribute of some variety being posted on Heath Ledger's birthday. So we thought we're going to round out the first season. Essentially, folks, this is the main ending, and then we have essentially a second season to get into, and kind of a preliminary second season. We're kind of doing this in 3 phases. I'll say that much about it. And so let's just say this essentially is this is like the ending.
Uh-huh.
And I just felt serendipitous that we cover it on the day, because we kind of lucked into that just in terms of the stars aligning. Oh my God, we're this close to the end, to the huge milestone in our journey. We might as well time it to the thing that started it all, Heath Ledger's birthday.
All right, so long story short, I think this recap is going to go by really quick because it's essentially just a monologue that kind of like lays out like, hey, this is what's coming in season 2.
Yep. Pretty much, this is the epilogue. This is, again, we kind of had our endings already, our climax.
Yeah.
Our dual climax, if you will. We had the Harvey Dent. We had the upside down dangle on the tower, if you will. And this is the ending.
But I mean, as far as setting the stage goes, Dragon, I will say just really quick, just to get my thoughts out. I mean, there's not really a ton to say about this. Honestly, it kind of speaks for itself. But I do really like how this kind of nullizes the Joker taking over Arkham and that whole thing, and the whole idea of Arkham becoming like this, this loony bin for all the freaks in Gotham. And I really do think it sets up things pretty well. I am going to say I'm not a fan of Luthor. I'm not a fan of Luthor showing up. We'll get there. That's a conversation to be had. I'm curious to see where they go with it, but I am skeptical at the same time. The Batman showing up right at the end, though, very satisfying. That's pretty much where I thought the episode itself was going to end, but instead we got it as a post-credits. So, let's get into it, Dragon. I honestly don't even really think we need to do this all that beat for beat, because it's pretty much just the Joker laying out like, all right, folks, Arkham is mine, but let's just break it down, Dragon. How do you want to do it?
Well, again, let's just just a little bit of context here for you. Again,
Sure.
This is the I just want to just kind of tease up again. This is the ending of our story, which I already kind of did here. It's kind of odd that we ended on 19 episodes with all the 0.5s and everything, and just the fact that they quote the Joker from our Anime Batcave coverage with the wild cards. You were expecting a round number? So I remember it was like everyone was wondering, oh my gosh, there's going to be an episode 20, and there never was. Because this is the epilogue. This is the ending. It's kind of 18 episodes followed by, well, here's kind of the extra. So it's a very full circle end and epilogue to kind of the core story here. Before it got re-upped essentially for an unplanned season 2, and again, we revealed the Joker's endgame this whole time. This is where we get episode 18 kind of went into like how the videos leaked online, but we kind of see why he did all that. why he leaked the videos online, with who he was in league with, and all that sort of stuff. And again, Tiki, I'm going to say this, and then we'll jump right into it. This is the last taste of the show you knew before, let's just say, we go next level when we get into kind of our intermediary kind of season here, kind of the build up for season 2. It's we're going next level. It's a taste of what's to come, and it's gonna be.
Can I ask if it's still found footage?
Well, that's the thing, Tiki. We're yes and no. You'll see exactly what I mean when we get to the next one. You'll see.
Interesting.
Okay. All right. So all that's it. Let's dive into it. So something to note right off the top, though, we do go back to the cold open, but we have like a new new kind of title card in which it's the rebranded version of
Care, a division of LexCorp.
Yep, it's all fancy and white, and again encapsulating kind of the Lex Luthor polish.
I got to be honest with you, I didn't even notice the Lex of it all, and now I feel stupid. That was pretty much like a blind giveaway.
No, it's kind of cool though. I mean, if you didn't see it coming. So remember, something we should talk about.
This episode of the Joker Blogs is sponsored by LexCorp.
Okay, now usually we save this for afterwards, but you know what? Let's just talk about it now up top. Okay. So additionally, what we're going to talk about is briefly. We don't need to recap or anything. It's just one thing to talk about. So they also, for April Fool's Day, they always like to do something. So before this, essentially, I believe it was right after the wedding video. I think it was right after the wedding video and or before, like when one of the videos played right on Heath Ledger's birthday. So I believe that was the wedding video. Well, the point being, around that time, while the hype was going strong for that, they put up this Riddler Blogs trailer.
This is really well done.
A lot of people got excited for, and of course, the big tease is that at the end of that, the staff verification, they had put up like, hey, the big green question mark on who bought Arkham, and we end on like a Riddler thing in the little news scroll. So there's a lot of Riddler essentially was the green herring in this case.
And yeah, the big thing to note is I think it's funny that all these years later we do get essentially a Nolanized Riddler.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how that works.
But I've said this before. I'll say it again. The Riddler was my most wanted villain in the Nolanverse, and I always wanted him to be played by Michael Emerson. That was my dream casting for him.
Well, it's not Emerson. You want to hear something kind of cute?
Sure.
So the actor they cast as the faux Riddler in the faux trailer, it's I believe Scott McClure's brother, Troy McClure. It's either his brother or his cousin. I'm pretty sure it's his brother. So another
you
McClure.
Might know him from various fan films such as. Oh God, that's great, Troy McClure.
It's just really cute. Was
that intentional? Like, do you know if the parents named him that intentionally?
Well, what do you mean?
Wait. You don't know Troy McClure?
I mean, I'm kind of blanking on it. Like, can you?
The Simpsons, Dragon. The Simpsons.
Well, no, Tiki. No, I don't know Troy McClure. Like, what?
Wait, hold on. Okay, he's a famous Phil Hartman character, Dragon, from the Golden Age.
He's he the lawyer?
No. The other one. He was the guy that would pop up. Who was like all the. Hi there, I'm Troy McClure. You might remember me from other public safety videos, such as. Nope, you don't know Troy McClure?
I don't know Troy McClure.
All right, we're totally derailing this podcast, but I'm pretty sure anyone who's at least vaguely familiar with The Simpsons knows Troy McClure. So
my point was,
it's definitely a famous Simpsons character. It's pretty much the other. It's pretty much the other famous Phil Hartman character besides the lawyer.
Okay, my point was it's really cute that if they were teeing up like a spin-off series, they had gotten another McClure to play their lead.
Yes, that is fun. That is fun.
Okay. So we're back to the kind of the cold opening sort of thing where we have him humming the animated series Joker theme yet again, which he's only done before when he broke out of Arkham, and he drops the little picture frame of the episode title, which is really cool, and he very eerily takes away a little piece of broken glass. All right, so just our setup here. So yet again, our found footage thing gets challenged. Yeah, it gets kind of changed up yet again. We have a full-on security cam footage, and in the cell, it's not a therapy room this time. He's in the full-on cell, like pulled from the animated series, the whole Hannibal Lecter like glass cell inspiration.
Yeah. So we have this very hapless security guard, Dragon, and he is just about to get emotionally mind-effed.
Not just any security guard, Fred. This is Quincy Sharp. He was one of the guys at the wedding who is in the Arkham games. He was the warden. He eventually becomes the warden of Arkham Asylum, the really wishy-washy kind of like
Okay,
warden that
okay.
Harley Quinn kidnaps in the game for a
So I
bit.
guess I shouldn't assume that he's hapless then.
No, he's pretty hapless though. You're not wrong.
Okay,
Like, you know,
fair enough,
that's
fair
what I'm saying.
enough.
He's very wishy-washy. And remember, he was the one who was like kind of hitting on Harley. Says, "Well, I wish you weren't getting married," but you know,
Right, right. Okay, no, I didn't recognize him, but I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
he's not a
okay.
smart man, Tiki. He's just very timid. So you're not
Sure,
wrong.
sure.
Anyway, so Harleen got him the internship, and Joker, let's just say, got him the promotion. So I love Joker doing as he's going back and forth like a shark in a fish tank. Practically, he's like doing like the disappearing stairs gag, just having fun with the security camera. So you're gonna thank me for what? For killing Steve. You got his job. Again, it goes all full circle to the first person Joker killed in the show.
Totally.
which is nice. Anyway, so
dearly departed Steve, we hardly knew ye.
we're gonna have we're gonna have a few send-offs to Steve this episode once more. So there's a fun Easter egg to Steve in this at the end. We'll get there. So let's see. It better come with health benefits. So again, it's the twisted idea the show is founded on that brings it on home in the last episode. That Joker continues to try to help the people in Arkham in twisted ways. Where it's like, hey, I got you a promotion, buddy. I killed.
I mean, I wouldn't call it help. I would more call it like he's coin favors.
Exactly. No, you're right. Yeah. But he's spinning it like, hey, you're welcome.
Yeah.
So again, Quincy, the idea is Security is really going to crack. I'll give you a tease at what's coming. Security is really going to crack down the Joker coming up. Let's just say that. I mean, given who bought the place, I don't think he's going to take any chances with who we put in there. So Security is going to be cracking down. But so like Quincy Sharp here is Sharpies all that. Like I'm not supposed to talk to you, but there's nothing saying I can't talk to you. So I guess just aesthetically, Tiki, what do you think about the lighting? Like the whole tap.
I mean, like the series always looks good, but this definitely feels like. I mean, obviously, it's not cinematic because it's not meant to be cinematic, but aesthetically, it's very close to what we see in The Dark Knight with the concrete wall and everything, and the shadows.
Yeah, it's really cool. They kind of racked focus all those black marks on the wall behind them. That's actually, as you see in the post credits, that stuff written on the walls is just racked out of focus.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like a bunch of Jokerized graffiti. So,
and I'm glad they did that. I'm glad that they did haze out the focus there because it kind of does make the scene a little bit more eerie. And I feel like if that was more prominent, it would have probably taken away the realism.
I mean, it adds. I just love it because it's just really on brand for like when you in Mad Love when Joker meets Harley and you see him in that glass cell. The lighting's kind of creepy, so they kind of replicated that with how it's in kind of a different lighting scheme, mind you. But it's like he's all shadowed, kind of evilly, and we do tricks like that in the background. So basically, Joker goes on saying, they tease up the big joke. Now remember, Tika, this is gonna be. You want to plant a flag here, okay? This is important.
All right.
Did you ever hear the one about the security guard with the broken glass in his stomach?
Yeah, no. I that was definitely like the flag was planted there for me. Like I was like, okay, that's probably a setup, right?
Oh yeah. So, I don't want to hear any jokes. And hey, when I tell you a joke, you better pay attention. Otherwise, you'll miss the punchline, or you could end up being the punchline.
Yeah, so I imagine this guy is going to get a glass full of stomach at some point.
You know what's funny? We don't see that happen
glass
to
full
him.
of stomach. I'm sorry. Wow.
I don't even want to think about how that works. God. No.
All right, that was a funny little blooper there.
I will say this: we're not going to see Sharpie again, but we do draw reference to, assumedly, we don't see Sharpie, but I'd like to think that this happened to him.
Yeah.
Anyway, I like to think that he lived too, which makes it even worse.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, so let's see. Of course, Joker's kind of assuaging his fears here. Like, oh, don't fret. I like you. You're much better than the other guy. No sense of humor. Talking about Lyle, of course. Lyle, he'll be returning as well.
Ooh, I think Lyle was probably like the breakout character for me. Besides, obviously, the Joker, probably the breakout original character.
I'm interested to see how you'll respond to Lyle next season. I'll say that.
Okay. We'll see.
More so in the intermediary season. Let's just say that much. That's where a big. We'll see how that goes for you. Anyway, so he says, "Hang in there. You'll be here a long time. Like me. We pulled the like me.
Yeah. I like that we pulled the like me at the finale.
Yeah.
Like me.
All right, so of course now again we bring it on home with basically what Joker's plan was the whole time here, where he says, I'm glad they decided I miss this place. I'm glad they decided to let me stay. I can sit back and watch all the crazies pour in. Or essentially, again, Joker's whole thing here is basically fulfilling the promise at the end of the Dark Knight, the Batman. You'll be in a padded cell forever. Essentially, it's
Totally.
like, the rate the city's inhabitants are losing their mind. He goes
And
into,
he's
I
like,
love
good,
the
I can roll the city from a padded cell. Awesome.
Exactly. He's going the full Blofeld, if you will. He
Right.
doesn't have to lift a finger. The Joker's damage has been done, which is the wonderful, chilling idea of the show. Tiki is that Joker won this whole series. He's the hero of his own story here, so he wins.
Totally.
So he goes into some really solid writing here about the whole the battle lines.
Yeah, essentially, it's just a really solid Joker monologue. That's basically what the whole episode is.
Yeah. The whole, and of course, we bring back the war paint idea from the Dark Knight.
Totally.
This is war, and I'm right where I want to be. Batman. This is the whole mission statement of the show here, where Batman can run and hide in his little cave. The police have the streets, and the mob, you can cling to whatever they have left. I have this place, and no need to lock the door. I'll stay put for now. But if I ever need to go out into your world, now what's really cool about all this, by the way, is he's talking to the camera, as in to not only the viewer, but he's assumedly talking to both Batman and Harley Quinn, Harleen Quinzel, whoever is watching this, that he's directing this message to anyone who's going to try and stop him. Don't try and stop me. So just really creepy framing. Him just talking directly to the camera in a scary way than he's ever done before. It's just really, really great. Really imposing. And again, it's the idea that Batman has his Batcave. This is Joker's version of the Batcave, which is the creepy promise of the whole show.
I love that. It's a very Nolanized idea. I think it fits like a glove. I really do think that if we did get Joker in the third movie, I think this would have been kind of like the direction they would have taken it, with Joker kind of claiming Arkham as his battleground.
Can you imagine if Bane threw Batman in Arkham and then he'd have to reluctantly deal with the Joker while he's in Arkham?
I mean, it would have been a hell of a lot better than that stupid pit.
Look, I don't want to get into semantics.
You set me up for that.
I'm just lighting the candle to potentially better stuff in a world in which we had Heath Ledger for a third
I know.
Think about it, they would have shared a padded cell together. It would have been really cool.
Oh, totally.
Okay, so point being, so again, we have
it would have been the one scene, but it would have been amazing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so then I love this Joker kind of calling himself out, in the midst of this terrifying, awesome monologue. This puts the whole show and the whole mission statement into perspective. Just kind of then catches. I'm sorry. Am I making you nervous? And of course, Sharpie is he's practically wetting himself. No. Don't worry. As of this particular moment, I have everything I need. See, and he pulls up the little Home Sweet Home, basically the image we have before us here, the little Home Sweet Home frame that is a gift from our new benefactor. Of course. Speak his name. Speak of the devil. Just drops and shatters, and there's our cold open.
All right, so let's talk Lex.
So that's the thing. I remember we brought up Lex, and I kind of steered you away from Lex a little bit for this very reason. So Lex,
I get it in the context of this story. I just think, literally, for the first time in the whole show, I really don't think this is something Nolan would have done.
Well,
and I'm conflicted on how I feel about that.
I'll let me put it this way: you're never going to see Superman, so you don't have to worry about that. I'll tell you, I'll sway you that much. I didn't want to say that before because I wanted you to be a little surprised.
I'm just saying, I don't know. The Nolan films are so self-contained. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it was always the question of, had Nolan gone on? It was always the question of, if Rises had gone on, or if they just kept Nolan on to do other franchises in that Nolanized universe. There was always the question of, would he have tackled Superman, which again he kind of did with Man of Steel, but obviously that went in a very different direction than people thought.
Dragon, like I said, I will put it this way in terms of I'm excited for what it means as far as the story goes, but I do think it's a step away from Nolan. All right, that's about as much as I can give on my opinion about it without actually seeing how it plays out.
Okay. All right, that's fair.
Okay.
Regardless, what's really cool about how they did Lex though, we should say. So they got the actual Superman Returns Kevin Spacey dialogue for Lex,
God.
which is really just really cool.
You know what?
Yeah.
Say what you will about Kevin Spacey. Obviously, the dude's kind of a psychopath nowadays.
Yeah, and
But
Spacey did go off the reservation.
I do think he was an underrated Lex Luthor. I really do.
Kevin Spacey was always perfect casting on Lex Luthor.
Yeah,
House
yeah,
of Cards
totally,
is a
totally.
testament to how perfect he would have been had they had the writing on Superman
I
Returns.
mean, he's a shit. He's not an intimidating Lex Luthor, but he's perfect as kind of like a Gene Hackman spiritual successor.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Look at House of Cards. He easily could have been a terrifying
Totally.
Lex Luthor. Again, back when they're doing Superman Lives, again,
and now he's literally just like a real world supervillain. So what do you know?
Well, yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So the point being, it's so even again when they were even speculating Superman Returns, he was always the go-to Lex. He was going to be the guy because he's so perfect for that role. And again, unfortunately, in real life, one could attest. But yeah. Anyway, the point being, it was kind of great that they kind of pulled that. Anyway, so they'll have you two met? Shut off the camera. And of course, they're pulling like the dialogue from Superman Returns. I said, shut off the camera. The cell opens and this Joker kind of palling. Honestly, it was just the big surprise of all the people. Initially I was thinking, could it be Tommy Elliott? And the gag would have been, it's McClure kind of meeting with McClure at the end somehow. Again, I think Riddler was on everybody's mind because of the question mark. And then honestly, the first thought I had was, is Bruce Wayne buying Arkham Asylum? But then he got shot. So it was always a question of, how is this happening? Who's going to buy it? And like, how far are we going to go? It was like, oh my God, we went that far. We'll see.
I mean, it does make sense as far as like, obviously Lex can financially afford to do this.
Yeah. And I know you look, we're obviously going to have to get there first, but I'm just going to say there is a good reason why they went with Lex, but I can't tell you why yet.
Okay.
So there is anyway, regardless, the fact is, I'm just blown away. I think like everyone was, which is the simple fact for me of like, it's like the animated series equivalent of World's Finest, of Joker meeting and palling around with Lex Luthor, and we're doing it in the Nolanized.
Yeah, that's true. When you put it like that, yeah.
And the fact that it kind of makes sense that Lex would use the ultimate distraction, which is the Joker running around Gotham, making mayhem, and no one would ever believe him one way or another if he did something illegal in his favor. So that's the logic that really, like, all of that is like, there's a Nolanized reason for Lex to work with Joker, which many people would point out in World's Finest. Would this Lex work with that Joker? No, but it's so much fun. Let's just go with it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so it was like pounding around about Sharpie. Oh, if you have to forgive Sharpie, he's just fishing for a promotion, running the trouble. Well, it wouldn't be me if I didn't. So the Steve thing I mentioned before. So Steve is the stand-in for Kevin Spacey.
Oh God. Seriously,
in the credits, if you look, it's like Mr. Spacey's stand-in, Joey Kramer, the guy who plays Steve from from Meet Steve. So he shaved his head at a point in the production. He volunteered to shave his head, and he played Lex.
Oh, jeez, that's
very Rosenbaum looking Lex, by the way.
Yeah, for sure.
Now I will say this: Lex's look is going to change once they show the face of the actor next season. But
All right.
All right, okay. Yeah,
and then, of course, we get Batman at the end, kind of a classic Dark Knight kind of Dragon. You know what? I will say, I do kind of like, it would have been hard to do it, but I do kind of wish they would have replicated the whole I'm going to need another cup of coffee thing with this.
The lights went out, though. I mean, they essentially...
No, I know. It's like they had everything but the cup of coffee line.
Yeah, well, I mean, just the rewind for a second. That kind of gets us there in kind of a cup of coffee sort of way. Now it's still a little unclear, but it's Joker reaffirms the deal that they made. Like, I got you the place. You're going to live up to your end of the bargain. And he says yes, and they shake hands. Pleasure doing business with you, Lex. Creepy like final shot with the camera fritzing out on the Joker. So that's kind of your cup of coffee equivalent. In that, did Lex get Batman in the cell? Is that something he did, or is Batman showing up just in response to Joker winning and just having a conversation? Right. So that's what's a little unclear.
I honestly think the timeline is a little bit unclear on it too. Is it right after Lex leaves the cell? Is it sometime later?
Well, that's the thing. It's either later in the day or just some day in the week that this happens. So yeah, time passes. Just a question of how much. And it's more of like an aesthetic. Like, what's the best final shot we could possibly have for this show? Believe me, folks, I wanted to use it for the image, but I didn't want to spoil things. So it's just this perfect, almost HD image of the little torn Harley Quinn, Harleen Quinzel and Guy Kopsky, wedding. Like, hey, the happy couple's getting married, RSVP, and he tore out Guy because he killed him. put them next to the ha 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 me on the wall, and lights go out, come back on. Batman in the cell again. The love triangle. Like all three members of the love triangle are in that cell. Just gives that smile, just a perfect money shot. That again, it's Joker's promise in the Dark Knight coming to pass. Batman and Joker sharing the padded cell for a moment.
Totally.
All right. Just perfect. Oh, during the credits, did you happen to catch the "Don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened" thing? Did you see
No,
that?
I did not.
Yeah. Just if you ever want to go back, just for fun, it's like it has like the credits are a little Jokerized, so you have like a little kind of cute, like it's a little nice farewell kind of thing in there. It's nice. But yeah, it's that's it. That's all she wrote. That's the end.
Alrighty. And of course, we'll be back with season 2 before we know it. Excited to get there. All right. Well, our time's up, and it's time to reseal the further evidence until our next session when we attempt to answer the question, is there a method to the madness? With the Joker Blogs case study. Like me.